Okay, great. So I need to continue my work session. There's a lot I wanted to do today. And as is often the case, it takes longer than anticipated. So I have still not actually read my notes, but uh, yeah, hopefully it'll become a little more clear um, what's next. But I just wanted to get this set up first. And now I'm going to probably switch to not really watching me, but hearing me mode. Let's put the pretty stuff back up on the big screen. How about that? No, I can watch those videos. Okay, so let's look at my list. And I'm gonna erase the things I've already done because I put them on my whiteboard. Put them on my whiteboard. And now I'm gonna take them off. So I've got a big place to write all kinds of ideas. And then sometimes all I got to do is write them down, and I feel and it helps. I don't always have to actually do. Yeah, sometimes just writing it down is all that's needed. But I do take pictures so that if indeed I do decide the notes were helpful, I still have them. So in this case, I have not done my yoni steam yet. So definitely want to do that. So that is going to stay on the list. I've already done some tidying, so I'm going to take that off. Yoni steam is like a 45-minute total process. I've done some playing, and I'll keep doing that. All right, I had my meeting with Seth at 1. I have indeed exercised. Whew, I am really knocking the shit off here. I do still want to do some editing, but we'll see if we get to that. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down. Plan week by the element. Okay, read notes out loud. That's right. That's something I'm supposed to be doing right now. Wait, I still want to clean the whiteboard roll. I'm going to have a lot of whiteboard to clean. Everything that I use for aesthetics. Clear them up. Okay, new moon stuff. So what I'm also doing now is I'm clearing space on the board by rewriting the things that I still want to keep on the board, rewriting them tidier, taking up less space. It also like clearly begins to show yourself progress because you're erasing things from your to-do list. And if you just leave it in this chaotic like state, it's a little harder for you to integrate and like really feel confident you actually did things. Okay, so a couple things that I know are definitely optional. I'm going to put in a slightly different area. Sort my rolling. Then, okay, there's a couple things that are totally optional that we don't at the bottom. Okay, it's that night note. And all that space. Okay. Also, rereading my notes helps me helps them kind of integrate more also, so that they're more readily available for the continuation of the thought process. Ooh, ladder. Okay, I'm going to write that down in a different section. Okay, so that's going in the super optional section. We need the ladder. Put blankets on the shelf. Stuff in the garage. So thing I like about these little tasks is they could be really fast. And so sometimes I just want the dopamine hit of a really quick like success and win and completion. So few things can actually be completed. You can complete cleaning the bathroom, complete taking some stuff to the garage. So anyhow, now on my micro task list, which means very small tasks, I have some things I need to carry down to the garage. I don't even have to organize them when I'm down there. I just put them in an area that like my holding folding pen. I could bring up the ladder and put some of these blankets we don't use very often up on the high shelf. I could, there's these string lights that I really want to connect, make sure they're up off the floor so they actually light the area up. And I bought some little hooks for them so I can do that. And that would be fun to make sure I get to that. Well, at some point. It would be fun to do today though, and I don't have to do it before Brian comes home. It could be done. Could be done if it's home. Okay, good. All right. Oh, I guess I should have read those out loud. Oh, damn it. I should have read those out loud. All right, maybe it's mostly my notebooks that I want to read out loud. Okay, so now my to-do list is reorganized and much smaller and less messy. I have not categorized it by like priority necessarily, but for now, this is good enough. I'm going to move on to the next thing. So I'm going to check and see what time is it. It is almost 3 o'clock. That means I have until 6:30 pretty much to myself. Well, let's say 6:15. Okay. So I have about 3 hours. And shower, yoni steam. That in and of itself will take about an hour. Okay, so I have 2 hours left. Okay, read notes out loud. I'm going to do that right now. I really want to do the new moon stuff, so I'm going to prioritize that as an A. Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I actually just outlined for myself about 3 hours worth of stuff, and I have 3 hours before my student comes home. So awesome. What am I going to do first? I'm going to read some notes out loud, and then I will take a break. Then I'll take a break and do my yoni steam and probably play video games and just talk about stuff. Oh no, it's still going. How much longer are you? Oh, just for some time. Great. All right. What I'm doing right now, or is it being productive? I guess this is actually pretty cool that I'm able to multitask in a way that, again, my assistant is doing a bunch of stuff for me. So what it's doing for me right now is in the background, I've combined some videos that were taking up storage, and the okay, yeah, they're taking up space and they're kind of mucking things up. So I am in the background combining them, and then on this program called Splice, and then I download it on my phone. It's kind of a couple of steps, so I don't know. There's probably a simpler way to do it, but anyway. And then once I then upload it to YouTube, then I can delete all of the video assets off of iPhoto. But I can't do that until the video's been downloaded to my phone. Right. Okay. So once it's downloaded to my phone, I can delete it. Cool. Okay. So there are some that I can delete. Oh, shoot. No, that one hasn't been exported yet. Okay. So I've already deleted all this. Okay. Now I'll go back. I don't need my phone right now. All right. So there's those that I can remove. Let's sit back down. It's another video fun. I really want time in my life. April 23rd, 28th, and May 13th. Oh, those are 2021. Oh, that's not going to do me any good. Okay, let's export it. Plug in my phone because it's low. Yep, I'm still working. Good. Good. All right, let's read some notes. Okay. Oh, get on camera for this. Oh, that's right. I was still trying to find some of my. I did find some. I have a sharp pen. So use small sticky notes, small sticky note tabs, and some things, more plasticky things that are meant to be tabs. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for me. This is a strategy I decide on. So if you look at this and go, oh, that's overwhelming, yeah, you'll probably come up with a different system. But also, once you know what my coding and everything is, it'll probably make sense. And it's kind of nice to follow somebody else's example until you feel like you got the hang of it, and then you do your own thing. And okay, so what I found the downfall of this is these little plastic tabs I can't write on them. So they're only like visual cues, but if I don't remember what each one means, it's not very helpful. So I can use this kind of stuff to actually write a little bit more. So basically, until these become habit and I know what they all mean, I just gotta put some visual clues in there for me. Okay, so in this case, orange tabs mean urgent. Time sensitive, let's use that. Oh, one side. Okay, so I gotta make sure I write on the outside. Okay. Orange equals urgent. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this in my notebook, maybe towards the bottom, so that it's not like right at the very top. But so now I know I've made myself a little note because I don't remember all these details yet, that the orange tabs are pages where there are urgent things. I think what I'll do is keep them to different sections of the notebook too, so that it's not quite so crazy like this. Okay. Yellow, what are the yellow? Okay. Yellow appear to mean but I wanted to return to it soon, like current. It's current reference for projects. It's a current project. That's what I'm going to say. Current project notes. So unfortunately, the struggle I'm having is that if I don't write the thing down, then like as soon as possible while I'm having the thought, if I don't write it down, I will forget. Very likely forget, and then it's lost. But if I write it down and I don't put it in the right place, like with the other things of a similar topic, then I can still sort of lose it unless I go back and find everything and index. So for me, it has made the most sense to just write it wherever I can write it. And then when I am improving on my habit is then going and indexing all of my writing, so that literally there's like a table of contents in my notebook where everything is, the pages on. So that way I don't have to keep it in some sort of sequential order. I got that idea from Bujo, the bullet journals. And so you can go find a video of indexing bullet journals. Okay, so what else? Green is brain dumps. Both used and not used. Okay, let's see. What's the right one? Okay, yellow. Okay, I guess yellow is actually Ainsley stuff and other like current repeat project topics, stuff that I'm writing about a lot. Okay, so now at a glance, I know what my color coding means. Eventually, I won't need this reference anymore. Just telling me what color is what. Eventually, I'll be able to clean that up. Okay, so that is one of my notebooks, and it's not my current one, but it's the one where I'm trying to keep as many of my financial tracking kind of information, as many brain dumps and sequential notes as I can. But I'm trying to reduce the number of notebooks I actually have. All right, so now let's organize this one. This is my current quarter notebook or planner. It's the Moon Site Lunar Guided Planner. I, one of these days, we'll get around to putting my affiliate link in the description whenever I talk about it. Probably not right away. All right, so my code in this one is still orange is urgent. It's sensitive, that's why I'm trying to use that. Oh, as well as I'm using it for like the different weeks of the month. Because I can kind of put them, I can use the same color multiple times if I just put them in different sections. So that's what I'm doing. In this case, I'm using the yellow tabs for the weeks. I need to add week 4. I only have week 2, 1, 2, 3 in here so far. And so I'll add week 4. And that's probably April to early May. And then I need to add the ones for the next new moon to new moon cycle. This is like these are repetitive projects that I come back to. And then these are urgent. So I'll keep the use of the orange up here for weeks. And for urgent, I'll have lower down here. So here's my little cheat sheet that's going to go in here now. Well, with repetition, I'll remember all this really quickly. Okay. Yellow. And blue are the month pages. Did I do that in the other one too? Oh, I didn't need to do it in the other one. Okay. It's the month pages. Okay. So month layout. Yeah, I like to, each new moon, I got to set up what kind of my goals are and stuff. I wrote it on the one side. And I'm going to record that process because it's time for me to be showing other people how to do it. And green are probably still brain dumps. Yep, green is a brain dump. Okay, and again here I have yellow and red again. So yellow, what is that? That is. So I think in this case that yellow tab is just clean sleeve. And then the red tab down here at the bottom is like the current day. So that one moves. I could use a paper clip if I trusted paper clips to stay together. I do actually like using paper clips for that because then I can paper clip several pages together if I want for a variety of reasons. Okay. All right, cool. So now I have decoded while using my notebooks. So that I don't think about it again. It's all about reducing decision fatigue, which means reducing the decisions you have to make, reducing the things that you have to hold in your brain. That's why you have extremely highly qualified executive assistant in the form of your phone. If you use it right, you use it effectively. Cool. I'll go back to paste. Videos, it didn't seem to update all of them. That's very cool. Well, that was the biggest space suck. So good. I'm glad. Here until I have exported this. So how about we export this? And I'm gonna take a little break for a bit. I need to take a break. I haven't read my notes because everything takes all goddamn long. Okay. So I have some activities I'm gonna do when I come back. So I'm getting all my stuff set up, and I'm gonna mute this for a while. I'm doing some of my own stuff for a bit. It's private. Yeah, that's one of the keys is get before you shift gears, especially if you want to come back and keep working on the same thing that you were taking a break from, make sure you leave all of your stuff kind of prepared. If you have to, like, leave yourself a little note what you were working on, just so that when you come back to your desk, oh, I can just pick right up where I was. But make sure it's prepared before you walk away while everything's still fresh. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And then I'm going to go take an outside break while it's sunny. And I'll be back in a few things. I tried to remember to use my bag when I went downstairs to get some things. I forgot to bring my bag. So I had to have full arms, but that's okay. It's not like it's a failure or something. I'm gonna have a snack, some apple, almond butter, chocolate chips. And gonna start reading those notes. And I'm gonna write down that if I have time, I will. Oh, I gotta make Alan Watts stop talking. He's not working out at all. Okay. So I just now was having this thought of, oh, I need to let my housemates know I have a pet sit coming up, and there will be quite a long stretch of days where they can use fragrance stuff if they want. So rather than hold that for the house meeting tonight, I'll just send a text so that they have it in reference. Yeah, then that way too, I can just say, hey, if I decide I want to come home at some point, I'll just say, ask, when was the last time y'all used something, and work it out from there. So let's get my snack going. I am exporting a big file, so I'll be able to. I actually cleared up a lot of memory today on my computer, on my digital storage. And honestly, I think our digital lives are a little bit of a illustration of our I don't know, mental and emotional internal hygiene. And so when my memory, my storage on my digital spaces is out of space, or just really messy, or that's kind of what it's like in my head. Sort of out of space, and I can't really keep moving forward until I've cleared some space for it. I like having a long-term visitor come. You got to make space for them, even if like, oh, we don't have much space. Well, create what you can. In this case, I'm going to put more stuff in storage than I otherwise would, because our room just lost the whole table we were using. All right, so I'm going to put this on to do, actually. All right, I haven't done my financial planning. Okay, I got to read notes first. Okay, decided not to do that.
Okay, signal, note, house, RE, sit, schedule. Okay. Great. So I'm trying not to get too lost in the weeds. I'm trying for now to just like basically kind of like a continuation of a brain dump. And maybe while I do that, I will also organize it. So I'll be being far more efficient. All right, so first, I'm going to start with my current planner. It's for Q2 2024. Unfortunately, some of these tabs I was using, I can't find right now. And rather than spend a bunch of time looking for them, I'm going to make a note that I need to order duplicates so I have them kind of spread around. But I will set a timer for 1 minute. I will try one more time. I feel like I've thought of some places I haven't looked yet, but I am not going to waste a lot of time on it. Ooh, or it's in the pocket. I gotta bring my snack over. Yeah, feel them in there. Feel them in there. I see them in there. All right, I would have to do a bigger search, or I would just will get lucky and come across them. But done. Look, I do need to eat some snacks, so I'm gonna bring it over here so I can cut up my apple soon. And now that with some almond butter, I'm gonna go wash the apple. Yeah. I don't like to eat noisy food, but okay. Okay, I'm gonna set myself a timer for 5 minutes. So now I'll take a break and cut some apple. My goal right now is to label the pages I'm gonna need first. Set a timer for most, soonest. Okay, 5 minutes. All right, here's today. Okay, go forward to, now here I have the month page. Oh no, this is not the month page yet. Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna use a blue tab. I could cut these. I'm not gonna worry about it. Or where is that? Shoot. Let me see. Okay. Oh yeah, the blue takes me to the page that has the next month. And what we got coming up is May 7th to June 5th. Holy shit, getting really close to my birthday. June 13th. Okay. Next month after that is June. Okay, put that towards the top. So now that's June through July. Here, you know what? I'm gonna Fuck it. I'm gonna use more of these. Standardization as much as possible. But when you can't be totally standardized with whatever your system is, then you just do the best you can. So I have now put blue tabs on each of the month pages. So on those pages. So now these nice big blue tabs at the top of the page. Right, green takes me to brain dumps. I'm going to move that down just a little bit. That's right. Okay. So now I need to make the weeks. Oh, here's a little guy. We'll use that. So, okay, so May 7th through. Well, come on, no campaign. Yes. Okay, May 7th through the 12th. Week 1. Monday the 13th through Sunday the 19th is week 2. So I am my door. Okay. So some people will be all like weirded out about this, the complexity of my system. But I tell you what, haven't you ever played with like a secret code or making up your own language with a friend or something, or heard of Pig Latin or Morse code, or I don't know. There's any number of seemingly complex, but eventually once you understand them, very simple. Okay, so now I've added on Sunday of each week, I'm sorry, to mark Monday of each week. So week 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that just basically helps me jump right to each week when I'm thinking about this current month. So that 5 minutes is up. Okay, what is next most important? Okay, these green tabs are the pages that have brain dump forms. So that just so that I can really quickly go to these pages that have places for me to just literally dump my brain out. And then rather than stop right then and categorize it and all that, like I just needed it as simple as possible. Brain dump, brain dump, brain dump. And then a little bit later, I come back to it, usually with fresh eyes. And then I categorize and prioritize my brain dump lists. And yes, after a bit, they do kind of get just like crazy, and it's, I have these flags everywhere and everything. At some point, I then need to just kind of transfer the ones that are still active, and maybe reprioritize the ones that just aren't getting done. Because sometimes just no matter how important or urgent you think it is, if you just keep not getting to it, then I don't know, maybe check in again. Do you have it appropriately prioritized? Maybe you're thinking it's more important than it is, and it can just like sit aside. Okay. What is going to be the most beneficial to me now? Notes. I still haven't read the goddamn notes. Okay. Let's go to, oh, not this one. This one is the poem. Oh, shit. Is it? Oh, shit. The brain dump. Maybe. Oh, no. Okay, this is the one I want. Okay. So now I need to tab the pages things that I'm currently working on. So Tom and Ayana are definitely focuses right now. And so let's see, how am I going to do this? So I think I'm going to just put one of these on each page that's for them. For now, I'm going to put one of these on each page that's for them, just so that I can like at a glance. And I'm going to put on there if it's both of them, or if it's just a note page about Ayana, and then just about Tom. And what I'm working towards is eventually I actually will remove the paper from here, and I'm trying to transition to a 3-ring binder, because then things move around really quickly and easily. But I'm not currently in the 3-ring binder, and I don't want to, I feel like that's too big of a leap. So I don't want to kind of make things harder for myself than is necessary, and just jump right to like full implementation of the 3-ring binder, because that just won't work. So this is transition stage. I'm getting better about labeling things. It'll be easy to pull things out and categorize them when it's time to put them in the 3-ring binder. Okay, so here is a joint page with Tom and Ayana on it. All right, and then here is one where it is still Ayana. This one is Ayana. Ideally, I would put the dates on here, but for now, I'm just trying to do this as down and dirty as possible. Okay, this one is still Leona. Oh, that's right. Actually, if it's several pages in a row, I don't need to label each one. Okay, so when does it switch? It switches to, okay, switches to Tom here. Well, now I actually also kind of need to do, I have all these separate projects actually. So T-Bog is the body of the goddess, and that is kind of separate from either of the individuals. Okay, here's some T-Bog. And these little tabs are temporary. Right now, I just don't want to make decisions about how to organize. It might not work. Okay, so now here we've got some Tom. Still Tom. Okay, now this one is T-Bog. What this does for me is now, when the next time that I want to think about one of these specific things, like the body of the goddess, or Ayana, or Tom, or Seth, now I'm going to be able to go find their pages specifically quickly. That will help me keep things closer and closer to each other rather than spread all over the place. Basically, it's just basic steps towards organization. Sometimes sometimes things get messier for a bit first. Okay, so here's another joint page. Now, one thing I'm not, that's gonna get a little challenging is we'll also have WhatsApp in the mix that will have variety of things on it. So it might get a little challenging to figure out. Okay, ooh, cool. Now I have a whole bunch of Tom pages in a row. Yeah. So now here I am at Seth. All right, so I've spent another 5 minutes. Cool. How about now? I do actually start reading them. I know I keep saying that. So I guess what I discover is like, oh no, there's steps that I have to take before I can do the thing I want, even if it's as simple as just reading my damn notes. Okay, it's 4:30. Let me do a check-in with the things I expect myself to do today. And that is right here. Ooh, I haven't had my snack yet. I'm supposed to start having a snack. All right, so it is now 4:30. Change this. It's now 4:30. So that means I have 6:15. So I have 5:30. 1.75 hours. Sometimes I just really have to think it through. Yes, it is a simple thing, and sometimes that's not the part of my brain that wants to work. All right, so I have an hour of self-care that I need to do before my partner comes home. No, I could get that down to 45 minutes if I had to, but ideally it's an hour. So if I want to give myself 45 minutes to do my self-care, and that would be great for me to do right before he comes home, because then I'll have lots of like low key relaxed time. But also it's basically, I think I'll play video games and maybe talk if I want, but trying to get myself off duty by. So what is that time? What does that mean? So I have 1 more hour. So at 5:30, I need to stop. Ooh, I do have some texts I need to read, both from Tom and Ayana. Yeah, I gotta keep track of, like, these are, I am not appropriately setting aside time to keep the pace that we're all kind of trying to stay at. So what that might mean is that eventually it gets to the point where it's like, okay, you guys, I am not able to keep up at your pace. So, we'll just take it a step at a time. All right. So that means I have to stop by 5:30. That means read my goddamn notes. Okay. I'm gonna silence so I can make some noise with some food. Okay. So what I'm doing right here is I'm preparing a snack, but instead of doing what I do a lot of times, which is basically one at a time as I eat them, put almond butter on the apples, and so basically I have to stop completely. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing with the apple, like put almond butter on. And every time I do it, I generally tend to have stuff on my fingers, which then I need to clean them before I can work again. So noticing all of that, I said, okay, well, in the case where I want to keep my fingers as clean as possible for as long as possible so that I can keep touching my computer without fussing, what's the easiest way to do that? And that is get it done all at once. That way it saves the time of stopping your train of thought, restarting your train of thought. It can become more of a rote activity, and you don't have to be as worried about making a mess, because that's one of the reasons you have to pay a lot of attention, so you don't make a mess. Okay, so I will actually, since my room is upstairs from the kitchen, I actually do have a little drawer of stuff that I just don't want to have to always go downstairs for. And one of those things is almond butter and chocolate chips because I love it on these. So I'm not actually going to pre-chip all of these because I really shouldn't have chocolate chips on every single one of them. But I'm going to do some of them, and then I'm going to clean my hands. And then I'm going to silence again so I can make some chopping sounds and get my notebook to start eating. I mean, to start reading. My birthday in 2021 was hilarious. We really wanted to have a parade in the yard, but it rained too hard and a lot of people didn't end up coming. So that's fine. Okay. So now I think I really and truly can walk away from my phone for a while. And when I come back, I can upload quite a few videos all to my personal channel. So then I also, and the next step, I'm just saying this out loud so I remember, is I will need to put dates on the videos when I put them on my personal YouTube channel, which all of those, of course, are unlisted. Okay. Bye-bye phone for now. Shit, okay. Apparently, the delivery apps are waiting list these days. All right. Try to think of all the ways I can economize my time the most. And I just offered to Seth to do a like training run, a practice session of delivery with him. And I'm just going to double check and see if he's cool if I invite Mickey, who is someone else who's interested in delivery, but I think she might already be signed up. Okay. Okay. Oopsies. So now I'm so excited I found a sparkly pin. I have a meeting with Tom this week. And Seth and Tom might be tomorrow, so we're gonna look at his pages in particular. Oh, I can remember them. I'm making a table of contents page, which is at the front of this particular section, and I am numbering the pages. I'm going to put it in the index. Okay. Okay, so now I am. I guess I should put T-box right. All right, I need to not print now. I'm going to stop doing that. It's taking too much time. Okay. So week 1. I'm gonna write that on here. On week 1. Okay. So We hadn't started, this was just getting a feel for what's going on. He said specifically what it feels like to be in his life right now. It feels like swimming in molasses. He is frustrated with a lack of clarity and focus and ability to kind of just actually just progressively get things done regularly. He thinks that's mostly due to a lack of system, including a physical space to work, and then of course to stay on task and to keep track of projects as they're going, trying to get as much out of the brain as possible. He has a bunch of really annoying hassles that are going on right now that make his life more difficult than really it should be, because it sucks when it's this difficult. One of them being his van, which he needs for work, which he needs to move his musical instruments in and out of the van, and needs to close the door multiple times in that process. And the door doesn't open by itself, and close by, or for some reason it can't open and close the normal way. So, of course, my first question is, how often could there be a volunteer there to watch the van while you go in and out? Okay, so I'm going to add that. All right, so I'm going to start a page where I put stuff that I are for me to talk to him about. So here it is. Here's my next open page, and I'm gonna make sure the things that I think are most important to follow up about. Okay, so and what one of my top priorities is looking for the things that might potentially be made far simpler or far less time consuming really pretty easily, but just kind of needs an outside perspective to kind of give the idea. So, okay, when it comes to the van, volunteers. So I'll just ask, how often he has volunteers help him load in and out. Because physically, it's super demanding, and his body is tired and in pain. And same with Ayana. And really, they should not be loading in and out this stuff, because a lot of it's heavy and it is delicate, so that is important. But okay, so my question is about volunteers loading in and out. That could be somebody in the van handing to somebody outside of the van, and then watching the van while it's being moved in. And ideally, Tom is the one who's directing. Now, the equipment's also very valuable, easy to break. So basically, in order to actually be moving equipment, people kind of almost need like a little primer, or ideally, they already know how to move that sort of equipment. And what I'll remind them is that people do want opportunities to give acts of service. And I am confident that there are a lot of people who love and adore him and Ayana. And if they knew of a way that they could be of service, they would be happy to do it. And so basically, they could just walk, whoever's in there at the time. No. They need somebody to meet them early. Yeah. So they just have a little sign up sheet and have a couple. Yeah. I don't want to get into details, but allowing for acts of service to simplify and ease the effort. Okay. Okay, some relationship stuff. I know I had some ideas. Hopefully they'll come back. So I'm just going to leave a section open for that. I'm going to come down 2/3 down the page, leave room for that topic so that I don't have to split it all up. Okay. Homework was desk, a mobile one. And if he doesn't volunteer, I'll ask about moving the old one. Exercise. He said he was going to do bike rides, and I know that there were a minimum of 2, which is amazing because it had been a long time since he'd had a bike ride. I know there were other things that he was going to work on, so I'll come back to those. So one of my ideas for, I haven't quite figured out how exactly how to word this for mostly partnerships, I think. And I'm gonna just, for the simplicity's sake of how I'm thinking about this, I'm gonna keep it super simple with stereotypical masculine roles and stereotypical female roles. And in this case, when I'm thinking of it, it is a man and a woman. And there are some aspects of those stereotypical roles that I think are really beneficial to both. And there's been ways that even things that are really helpful, it's like kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater kind of crap. Okay, so in a relationship, I think it should be zones of safety. And what I mean by that is creating some boundaries and when certain things are talked about. Because if you have to be on guard at all times for the chance that something challenging is going to come up, or someone's going to ask you for a bunch of details that you don't have at the top of your mind, or like if you have to be constantly kind of prepared, or somebody just constantly needs help, like you have a toddler in the house or something, um, you know, uh, that is exhausting. And particularly when it comes to relationships, uh, where you have especially, I'll just say with partners, people who live together. And if they also do business together, then it's even more important. So there needs to be time set aside for specifically checking in with each other's hearts. Like, say there was a conversation that ended in hurt or unresolved or whatever, and now that you're both calmer and you can kind of come back to it and try to touch into it when you're not still in that like extremely elevated state. But the key there is that if you're not able to kind of close a conversation for whatever reason, often it's because you ran out of time, or you got kind of so stressed out that it wasn't an effective conversation anymore. You write those things down and you come to it during your dedicated relationship check-in time. And it could be, some people call it a state of a union. My partner and I call it a business meeting, but not patterned after like corporate business, but after like, there's a Flight of the Conchords song that references business meeting, and I'm pretty sure it's a reference to sex. And then when Sophia and I were doing Everybody Show episodes, we did one about resetting the idea of business meetings. So anyhow, call it whatever you want, but it's a dedicated time to basically to check in about stuff that's recently come up. If it needs to be sort of, if there is some repair is necessary, that's the kind of thing you can keep notes. Very little relationship stuff has to be handled urgently, but also make sure that you have time for scheduling, like looking ahead at the week. Do we both have on our calendar that we're going to go see Aunt Sally on that day, and that we committed to this on that day? And so you're teaming up to make sure you both have accurate information on your calendar. And you're also sharing like, hey, this is what has just been added to my calendar. Let's make sure, let's see if there's any sort of conflicts so we can talk about it, address it, as well as kind of planning for couple stuff, or partnership stuff. So like all of that needs to be talked about on a regular basis, and not willy-nilly here and there, or left and right, because you need to be able to let your brain go to sleep, and just relax with your sweetie, and not make a time sensitive issue out of every damn thing. Because it's kind of irritating you and you want to know right now whether or not you're going to go to go to Seattle for Mother's Day. Maybe you don't need to know right this second. It's not actually time sensitive. Write that down, hold it for the business meeting. Also, there needs to be dedicated time. If you have a business together, it needs to be dedicated time to talk about the business. And that one's particularly important because if you just let your business time, your work time bleed into every aspect of your day. And you just have constant like conversations about it. You might have a conversation about business 1 minute, and then 20 minutes later, you might come back with a relationship question. And an hour later, you might come back with like that's not that's too much topic switching. That's like not very many people I know do well with a lot of switching like that, a lot of topic switching, a lot of, very little time spent being able to just kind of focus and just get in the flow. Because if we're constantly pulled out of the flow, there's very little time in the flow. And there's absolutely no reason why, adults who can reasonably take care of themselves, even older teenagers, they don't need constant access. So now having a time to talk about business set aside, and you keeping notes about that, and then time to talk about relationship, time to talk about like financial matters, scheduling matters. My partner and I need an hour and a half, so we break it up throughout the week. We don't do it all at once because that's exhausting. But we make sure that, first of all, there is time on our calendar every week for a minimum of an hour. And then we prioritize whatever we need to talk about in that hour. And if something's getting all elevated and emotional, it's not the best time to talk about it. It's time to like really kind of just focus. And if there's something that's getting really emotional, I just kind of jot it down and agree to come back to it. So once you set a time, if at all possible, keep it at the exact same time every week. So there begins to be some consistency and confidence that it will always happen. And that things just won't drag on and on and on. You wrote it down and never talked about it. Like, that's annoying. And if it needs to move, then it needs to move, but just make sure it gets rescheduled and prioritized. And if something else is maybe not as important, like you sometimes have to make tough choices. And if you didn't get to have a business meeting for the past 7 to 10 days, then you know what? Maybe you need to take a break from some social activity, or, postpone a business meeting or something like that, because your partnership business, family partnership business kind of stuff is important. I'm gonna have to use different words. It's not working very well. And then you also need to have, at minimum, a weekly meeting about actual like financial, business stuff, like the events you're doing together or whatever it is that you do together. There needs to be dedicated time for work conversations. And it has to vary depending on how much overlap you and your partner have when it comes to your work. And you definitely will need to break that up into different topics. So like maybe business scheduling is 1/2 hour, and you need to put time boundaries around it. And if there has to be a lot more discussion about something, then it kind of needs its own meeting. The half an hour scheduling conversation is generally, things don't need a lot of talk. It's just like, okay, we both have this on our calendar. Great. We need to pick a time for XYZ. All right, let's put it in tentative here 3 weeks from now. If something's hard to answer or hard to make a decision, set it aside, write it down. You're going to have to come back to it. And then just like in the relationship, there needs to be financial matters discussed. Even if you don't really have much crossover financially, like if you never talk about it, it's this weird like mystery. So practice at whatever level feels comfortable to you to start talking about some sort of financial matters. But then the more and more you start to team up financially, the more in depth those conversations need to be. You need to have them on a regular basis. And then the business also, your shared business, you need time to talk about finances specifically. Again, like these major buckets of topics need to kind of have their own time and space, so that not only do you know for sure you're going to get to it, but also to break things up so that you're not demanding far too much attention out of yourself at a stretch. Very few of us can really be very successful if we don't take a pretty, like, really just let our brain take a break at least every 90 minutes. 90 minutes is a good long stretch without a brain break. I think every half an hour is ideal. So here it is 5. I need to stop at 5:30 and do my other things. And that'll be a hustle. Okay. So Obviously, that's not all reading my notes, but that's my processing. I guess this is what I need to do. Okay, biz meeting, financial, schedule. And it's also, it's a devotion of time. You're devoting time to each other, to the creature created between you, that is your relationship. Um, and and the more clarity each of you in a relationship have around kind of all of these topics, the less time will be spent spinning, wondering, questioning, following up, repeating, like forgetting what someone said, repeating. Like, that's just irritating all the way around and a total like waste of time. So that's the kind of thing that very young, young kids do, younger than like middle school. And so as adults, we all have the ability to kind of a bit more discipline around our time, and get a little more like introspective, like, okay, I really just want to play outside, but I haven't done any work yet today, and there's really, this isn't one of those days where I can just kind of fart around. Sometimes you need to have some discipline about it. Other times it's time to just rest. But yeah, you need to be able to, like, even small children, you usually can say, hey honey, go lay down and read for an hour. Mommy needs to do some stuff on my own, and I need to focus. So just go lay down for an hour. I'll set an alarm. I'll come check in on you in an hour. And if you're awake, you can get up. If you're sleeping, I'll let you sleep for a while. So then that, do the same with your partner if you need to. Like, hey, can you go do your own thing in the other room? How about at least an hour? If we have to go into each other's room, like, minimize it, and if at all possible, wait until the end of the hour. But just act as if you're like in a library. You're not talking to each other. You're trying not to interrupt the other. Just kind of, pretend you're in library mode, basically. Uh, so yeah, set time boundaries around doing your own thing. You can't be in the same room all the time. You can't be constantly interrupting each other. Are just not helpful to anybody. It's way more stress and chaos than necessary. Okay, back to reading the notes, reading the notes, reading the notes. Okay, we're working on metrics, so we're already doing that. I do need to create a section here where I will consistently keep metrics down in that lower right corner. And by metrics, I mean like some of the stuff he wants to track is overwhelm. Well, I gotta make sure I find it and do it right. Okay. Okay, so I know that they have some significant stuff there. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. He has said he really needs to talk about Patreon. So let's just make a note of that and bookkeeping. Because if I don't follow up on stuff that he has asked me about or sent me messages about, then he will lose trust that I'm helping keep track. And I'm trying to build trust with him that he can feel confident that I'm helping keep track of things that are, up to this point, it hasn't been real successful doing himself. And that's because I learned how. I know how. I'm gotta keep track. Can't just let things drop. Okay. All right. So I feel like I've gotten kind of everything I want out from there. All right. Right. Okay. The copywriting. I need to look at Quiet Quill myself because I promised him I would. And I really want to know too. So I need to create some time for Quiet Quill before I meet with him. Which I think is tomorrow. Oh no, wait, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I gotta message him about want to change the time. That's right. Okay. I need to message Tom about change Tuesday. To after, let's see. 1 to 2. Okay, 5 to 6. Okay. So either somewhere between 3 and up to 4:30 or Wednesday or half hour. We could break it up into half hour breaks. So just like an hour, but Wednesday, I decided if I'm gonna drive the lift yet. I guess I'll need to figure that out, but I'm not gonna decide right now. Okay, so there are some times on Wednesday. Great. But yes, I am meeting him tomorrow afternoon, most likely. So I'm gonna make time for a quiet walk. Yeah, use that evaluation of your time and energy. Okay. How are you treating the value of your time? If you're trying just letting it bleed all over the place, you're not valuing your time very highly. Okay, so what was that in reference to? Water, I need more. This is only my second bottle today, so I need to finish this by definitely by 6, and then drink another half of one before 8 because I don't want to get up in the middle of the night and pee. But I also don't want to have a headache. Dehydration. This tab's going to indicate the page I'm actually working on. If I can easily find it. Oh, right, I'm on my right, okay. Energy, attention. Okay. Okay, we're trying to talk about closest to the dollar activities. Fewest steps and hours between you and actually making money. There are just times you got to make really fucking hard choices. Realize you can't get everything done on a record pace. Also, when it comes to relationship, yeah, I gotta kind of create trust between each other that, you know, when you say you're going to do something, you actually either are going to do it or you're going to come back and say, I committed to that and realize it's just, I'm not going to be able to do it. So let's make a plan. And so, but that also cannot be received as you're letting me down. We all sometimes overcommit ourselves and need to check back in again, but also make sure that you're prioritizing correctly and appropriately. I don't want to use the word correctly, but appropriately in line with what you could say is your priority. So if you are wanting to reschedule some time with your partner or your kid because you want to go do some, I don't know, you want to go to some workshop or something. Well, I'm annoyed with myself for going to as many workshops and evening activities as I did instead of staying home with my kid. So, I need to, yeah, the trust is okay. So, I need to tap into, okay, so the flow of receiving. We were talking about that. Unfortunately, I really just feel like I can only write on one side. No, that's right. Okay. It includes acts of service, asking for help. And being mindful of your own energy, your energy levels, and just not overcommitting. If you overcommit, you're letting people down more often. Make fewer commitments. You can say, let's think about it. Let's put a holder on our calendar, but don't make commitments, actual commitments, and never make them in the moment. Always give them a little bit of time to think about it, especially if it's something that either A, is being added to your calendar and say it's taking up a half a day, or means that something that you committed to already has to move. Yeah, sometimes you just have to go, okay, does the thing I already had scheduled, is it something that is higher value, higher importance, more time sensitive than this thing I want to move it around for? Just really be mindful of how you answer that. Make sure that make sure it aligns with your values. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, there's a flow of receiving that is not happening currently. Okay, let's find those. Ooh, I want to ask, like, where are there any areas, anything that you've been able to simplify or kind of set aside so it's not taking up space in your brain? Clear up space in your brain hole. Okay. Right, I'll skip to the next page. Okay. Oh yeah, we were going to talk about the destination he's thinking about. 3 to 6 months, not really any further out than that. Gotta be able to break it down. So yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna, last week when I wrote on these notes, I used a yellow highlighter. So now to differentiate between next level notes, I'm gonna use a pink one. So these are two things we talked about last week that I want to follow up on. Ooh, if we get a chance to talk about his health, PCP, and a therapist. Wonder if there's, hopefully we'll be able to talk about relationship stuff. Talk about bare bones. Every new thing you're adding, is it more important than all of your urgent and important things. All right, here's his metrics here. Overwhelm. Say, okay. Okay, so week 1 was an 8. Week 2, 6. Week 3 will be what? And then clarity. Okay, so I'm just making this little table here where it's week 1, 2, 3. Oh, I have to put a week 4 there, right? That's right. Well, no, that'll be on the next week. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And then, yeah, I put in the numbers. So clarity. Last week was, the first week was 5. The second week was level 6. Cool. And then active action taken towards progress. Inspired action. The appropriate action priorities. Action taken. Progress. So first week he felt about a 4 on that. Second week he felt a 5. So we'll see what week 3 is like. All right, so that's the move forward. All right. Okay, so his head, heart, and body. Nice. It was nice to look back on that, but okay, categorizing felt limiting. I guess the continuation of his rating scale, that's what he's doing. How's your rating scale going? Okay, he really wants more ways to come alive again. He loves collaborative music playing. Oh, he noticed that his prioritization of himself, consistently the priority was a 3. And maybe, oh, you know what? We didn't specifically talk about it, but I'm going to put down like I can't remember what he had that under, but like maybe self-time. He'll tell me what he called it. Yeah, priority level, he feels like it's given. On week 1, he gave it a 3. Week 2, we went on several bike rides, which is fucking awesome. That's definite progress. Ooh, I haven't made a playlist of his vids yet. Fuck, I gotta send his vids. Okay, gotta get, okay, so I need a system around follow-ups after calls. I'm just gonna write that down. Forget. I owe Tom video. Need to make a playlist of his videos. Okay, I don't know how long that's gonna take, but I'll keep track of it. Okay. Okay, so taken have some notes here about the 6-month destination. Library sessions available for sale. Oh, he wants big piece. He wants space to like spread out, make his ideas visible. So we need to kind of talk about that this week. Try and start creating that for himself. And excited about feeling into the possibility of what he could create. Ooh, Cool. All right. So now I have more notes on that. So let's see if I can find those. So at least I've gone through this notebook and it is now categorized. So I'll be able to find things when I want them. So that is notable progress. Okay. Now I'm going to. All right. I'm not sure which I've done the most reference to them in, but I'm gonna guess it's this one. Okay, so I have not done a brain massage testimonial. All right, so now on this one, it's Friday, January 12th is where I wrote some stuff about the brain massage. So I'm gonna go to my index of stuff where I keep track of Tom and I's stuff. And I'm gonna make a separate category for brain massage. I don't want to do differently, but okay. Okay, Tom. On the second, okay, on the second line, I'm going to categorize the suite. Page number in this case is January 12th. Right. So I'm actually going to remove this tag because now I have it indexed and I'll be able to use that tag somewhere else. Oh, volunteers. I'm trying to keep track of volunteers. Maybe I'll put a yellow tab on that one so I can find that one when I'm starting to okay, I don't really know what that one's about, but it's not Tom. Oh, I wanted to talk about the field of infinite possibilities. Okay. Ooh, on my wish list, I want to put a Berkey. Okay, Berkey. Okay, I gotta start wrapping up. It's 5:21. Okay. All right. Ooh, here's another Ayana page. So I need to make sure that gets tagged appropriately. I'm gonna. Great. So I can find it again. This is also. Huh? No, I'm just going to continue. Okay, this continues with her. Okay, cool. So continued. When I catalog all of Ayana's pages, put the date down as that was. Okay, cool. Looks like, oh my gosh. Okay, some other things I was thinking about for relationships. Yeah, we just gotta get creative. Sometimes we want to be in the same places and pretend we aren't. Like I like to wear an invisibility cloak sometimes, but I don't mind being in the same room as him. I just don't want him to talk to me or I don't want to hear him. So I put on headphones. And So he can do his own thing and I could do my own thing. We could be in the same room, but just don't pretend I'm not here. And sometimes during that time, we might just have to send texts. And if I want to look at my phone or he wants to look at his phone, we can't. Otherwise, it waits until the time we agree that we'll come back together. They must have set times. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about developmental stages, and a lot of adults are arrested at different developmental stages because no one really ever gave them the opportunity to kind of learn this stuff in a healthier way. So yeah. So I think a lot of folks are arrested at middle school level or high school or younger or okay. I was when I think a lot about 100% access. It's actually usually not great once you're an adult. Like that's really just for young children and somebody who's temporarily sick or something. If it's a long-term illness, then need to get help. Need to get help. Constant health support is meant to be shared in shifts so that no one person is in service to the point of exhaustion and self-sacrifice. Something like that is a team effort, not sustained long-term single partnership, just the two of them taking care of each other. Okay, so I said other notes on that. Wow, really psyched. Okay, so there are a lot of notes, of course, but okay, so some of the videos I know I need to make are talking about what is closest to the dollar mean and how do you decide on those activities. But for now, I'll just say it's the fewest steps possible to earning some income. So like in my case, it's I go get in my car and I turn on my Lyft app or my delivery app and I earn some cash and there we go. But that's instant, not necessarily ideal. But something like creating a web page or a Patreon is many steps down. And so you get started on it, start making progress. But something like that, unless you genuinely have the luxury of just dedicating all your time to something, it needs to be done in pieces and parts, and a little at a time, no matter how bad you want it. Categorizing and prioritizing, like one of the ways that can be done is by your role. So say you have stuff you do as a mom or as a dad, as a business person, as a friend, as a brother, as a son, whatever. Like you have all these roles. If you want, you can categorize by that. Always have to break big long-term projects into smaller bites and spread it out. Yeah, because if you dedicate like 4 hours to something that is, 6 months down the road, and has so many steps that it's really far from actually helping you make money. If you put a bunch of time into that, like 4 hours, and you probably didn't follow up with clients, you probably didn't do some promotion of something you have coming up soon. You probably set aside something that was more urgent. So really got to get disciplined about that. I think it's really important that people identify what do you really need in order to, spend an hour effectively being effective and working. For me, I have different notebooks, basically like you did in college or high school. You probably had different notebooks for different classes so that they each had their own place. So I need all my notebooks around me so that I have the ones that I need. I like to have a whiteboard and dry erase pens and plenty of regular pens because I set them down. Highlighters. I generally like to have music. Water always needs to be near me. Stop an alarm, and or timer. Snack. When I'm leaving the house, then also I need my computer. I need my power cord, my mouse. So I have a checklist on my phone of all the things that I need when I'm taking my office with me, whether that's out of the house altogether or just in the backyard. It's the same basically, with few exceptions. So figure out what you actually need to be at work and then start getting creative with where you can go do that. Go to a different part of your house than you normally do. Go in your yard, leave the house completely, go to a park, go to a coffee shop, go to a library, go go to a lot of different places and work. It helps you create new neural pathways. It helps you get out of the house and just change your environment. There's a lot of reasons why it's really beneficial to get out of your house or get out of your office if you do have a regular office. Okay. I see that it is very difficult often for folks to really truly identify what is urgent because they go by what in their gut feels urgent, and that is not actually always accurate. Sometimes, but a lot of times, the urgency of something is more identified by, I don't know what I want to say, but urgency is identified by, like, say, if it's very, if you have a client who's waiting on your call and they're ready to schedule, and you will, they'll be, giving you cash pretty much as soon as you schedule with them and see them. You could do that within a week. That is very urgent, especially if you're in a position of where you kind of need to earn all the income you possibly can. It's providing good customer service to follow up with people when you say you will, as well as doing it on a timeline that's appropriate. And if you don't do that, then you're just passing that work up. So that's more urgent than a project that is way down the road and is so big that you can't follow up with stuff like this. Something like an event that's coming up and you need to do some promotion, or you need to write the event up or whatever, that is far more urgent than spending more than, say, an hour or so on a project that is more long-term. Because what will end up happening is you'll start to realize that if you genuinely focus on the things that are genuinely time sensitive and important, and in service to your business and yourself, your highest good, then the more long-range projects actually start to just kind of happen a lot simpler, with a lot less push, a lot less force, a lot less stress. So it is the majority of people, I can honestly say, you need to reset your priorities. The chances that your priorities are even mostly accurate or mostly in alignment with what you claim is important to you, very few, very, very few. So sorry, Charlie, but the chances are real high. You need to reprioritize some stuff. I also work on it a great deal, and I'm very aware of it, and I still don't always get it in the way that I wish I had. So really question, why do you think something feels urgent? Why is it urgent? Really be super clear. Why is it really urgent? And if you really still feel strongly it's urgent, then is it genuinely the most urgent compared to something else? Like, take your supplements, take your pills, that's very urgent. Okay. Oh, under relationship, I forgot, but also want kind of like state of the union time. No, that's not what I mean. It's just unstructured together time, just like enjoy each other's company. It's really important to have now and then. Okay, where was I writing relationship stuff down? I don't know yet. It's in a different notebook, I think. All right, well, that's cool. Also, it's very important to start setting days and times when you're going to work. If you don't put it on your calendar, you're not going to do it. If you only do it when you feel like it, you're not going to do it, usually. So if you want to work 10 hours a week, block out 10 hours a week on your calendar. Ideally, you spread it out. Very few people can actually work 4 hours every single day. Especially if you haven't worked full-time or even part-time in a long time. You got to build up to it. I know a lot of people who would be doing awesome if they spent 2 hours a day on work instead of stressing about it and doing 0 hours a day on work. So schedule it though. Decide how much you want to work, schedule it, and then keep track. Did you actually do it or not? Start to get a better sense of what's realistic. And or check in. Am I appropriately prioritizing, or am I putting too much pressure on myself? Which is it? Okay, so Cool. All right. I probably didn't find all the notes I need, but I know I did find a lot of them. And it is time for a break and shifting to my yoni steam and playing because my brain hurts. Shit, I haven't done that yet. I'm thinking about volunteers a lot. Okay. Oh, here was a cool. This was another page. That's cool. This is like my garden analogy. Projects are just like gardens. You gotta prepare, you gotta identify the plot, you gotta dream it up, you gotta prepare the soil, you gotta amend it, you gotta plant seeds and starts, you gotta take care of them, you gotta keep adding to them. You can't force them to have grow any faster. You can't. It's an asinine thing to expect a fruiting tree to fruit in early. So why do you make projects fruit early? Okay. So here's another page about time. Okay. So oops. Oh yeah. Okay. It's all this. All right. Well, I guess tomorrow is the new moon. I guess I'll get to it tomorrow. But at least I can start thinking about it. And maybe while I'm doing my yoni steam, I will read the May 7th to June 5th mooncast. I'll get a lot out of that. Okay. So now it is time for me to shift gears to my yoni steam. I'll update my to-do list. So editing hasn't happened. Like this is a perfect example. It felt really important to me. It felt urgent, but I've all day long done what is actually genuinely in that moment, most of the time, at least more urgent. And I don't have time to get to the editing today. So it's not happening. I also haven't really planned my week according to the element. It doesn't look like it's going to happen right now either. I did read some notes out loud, so that's an A item that I did for at least an hour. I haven't seen the whiteboards. That's something I can do this evening, probably. I want to do my new moon planning on Tuesday. I also need to do quick quilt on Tuesday. Shit. And I need to ask Tom about changing our time, which is actually has to happen today. Also need to read my texts. Okay. Okay, so these other things obviously aren't happening because time for me to wrap up and put myself first and do my own steam because today's the day that I need to do it. And I don't think I'll get to it tomorrow. So time to start shutting down my brain and starting to close down my office. Prepare for my yoni steam. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my notebooks away yet, but I'm going to collect them a bit. I'm going to get my game set up so that when I come back, I can just start playing. I'm doing my egg too. Tea. Use. Okay. I'll be back in a little while. So what I've been doing, let's see here, is I've been prepping for the yoni steam. I have been heating up the glass bowl that I'll be using for the tea. And now I am boiling the water that I actually use to make the tea. That's so that the temperature doesn't come down too much when I start making the tea. I also use that hot water in a little bit of time to wash my toys. I had a little bit of playtime by myself earlier. And this is a pink, shit, I gotta look it up. I think it's a pink quartz. Oh, it says right here. And these are healing devices instead of putting, like silicone or plastic or shit. Let's see. Oh, tritane. Ooh, oh, you know what? I haven't been putting intention into it, and I need to do that. Oh, now I can get a little more knowledgeable about it. Oh shoot, it doesn't say which one this is. I can look it up. Pretty sure it's rose quartz. Pretty sure it's rose quartz. And each of them has like a kind of energy that it has already. So this is a proxy, a representative for my sweetie when he's not available. And then this gal Eleanor, who does some interesting sex stuff, she said this was her favorite toy ever, and she found it on sale one time and said, "Hey everybody, this is a really great toy. Maybe you should get it." And I was like, "Man, it's $14. Why not? I'll check it out." And yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's called a Satisfier. Oh yeah, Satisfier. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do right now. It's time to go make the tea. Oh, I got dirt on my knees. I got dirt on my knees. I don't want to get that all over my room. Okay, let's go make the tea next step. I'll use aluminum foil as the lid for the pot. Oh, it's 6:10. I'm gonna have to turn this off soon. Dang it. I'm gonna cover this with aluminum foil and keep it well insulated. Okay, where's the foil? What did it do? Oh, shit, come on. Where's that foil? I'm losing my like heat right now, you sons of bitches. Where's the goddamn foil? Where'd I set it down? Shit down there. Shit down. Okay. That grew up a little bit and keep it nice and warm. And I'll finish getting myself all sorted so I can get sitting there. And I'm gonna do it for at least 15 minutes. She said I could do half hour if I want, but I'm gonna do at least 15 minutes. And then I'll just kind of go from there. My sweetie will be home by then. And so let's see. I bet I'll do it longer, but I'll probably turn the video off. I don't know where my socks went either. Oh, I didn't take this stuff downstairs. Shut down. All right, well, I will. All right, well, I just need to make sure my feet get covered. Hopefully, yeah, okay. Right, I have a blanket. I am situated. Okay, water. Okay, excellent. And it's time for me to get my yoni steam and on this pick down on my underwear. And get situated comfortably, sitting here. And then I'll go take a shower at a convenient time following this. Have a house meeting at some point. I don't need to go prepare for that. I hope my sweetie's not going home early. He might be. I'm covering myself first before I open the tea up. My lap covered with the sheet. I'm not putting a blanket on. Anywhere basically there's a lot of airflow. It's gonna cool down real quick. Eventually I'll ask my sweetie to make me a special box, but it's not top priority right now. Wait, oh, is this Sokovia? Okay, all right, right, okay. Here's what we're playing. All right, let's open up the steamin pot. Let's get this steamin. Yeah, let's set a timer. Good. Better insulated. Oh, here's another towel. That's right there. Insulate some more with that. Okay. Let's see. And 10 minutes. Let's see if we want to keep going. Every little bit helps, but maybe I only go to 15. You see? Come on. Okay. Play my game. What do I want to be? I want to be someone more interesting than you, lady. Well, not that. Where was that huge guy I just was? How did it change just because I went to space? Was this who it was? Who was this? I don't know who these guys are. Yeah. Oh. I don't think that's who I just was. No, I was a guy. I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time looking for whoever I was. I don't like this guy. I think he's fun. Okay, let's get a lay of the land. All right, there's still a lot of those. Okay, what's this right here? Oh, all right, let's do that. This is better for a. Oh, this is better for a. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, who is this? Oh, that's who I was, I think, a second ago. Okay, but for this, it's running. Let's be somebody. I don't like hating him. He's annoying. What the hell is that? Devil dinosaur? No, he's not fast at all. All right, let's go with this. All right, fine. All right. Where is that thing? No, I don't want to do that. I wanted to do that race. Where is it? There we go. These kind of races, I think, kind of give you a lay of the land, but I usually don't learn a lot because I'm kind of too focused on minding the gates. The ones that are flying, I think, are the hardest. My steam's nice and hot. My eyes better check in and make sure it's not too hot. Yikes, where is it? Quick. It's in American circles on my for fuck's sake. I guess it's a pretty small area though. Oh, I see it. There are gates down there. Oh my gosh, never noticed that. I've always been so focused. Look at that, look at that. And now I got a hover bath. Hilarious. Okay. What's this? No, I don't want to be this guy and fight a fight. Let's go. Let's find that monk. What was his name again? Here we go. I think it's this guy. Oh, he might not let me do it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, but I don't want to be her. I want to be somebody at least a little more badass than that. Okay. See here. I like superior. I like to be. Like this. Okay, cool. I just completed that little challenge. Let's drink some more water. Let's go do some challenges. Like, let's see. What's up here, bud? Okay. Oh, there's something down there. Okay. My eyes are dry. My eyes are dry. I gotta bother me. Oops. Okay, Novigrad train station. Okay. Oh, can you literally? Oh, you can't fly over it. Okay. Let's be the boundary. I like to find the boundaries. Oh, what's this? Can I blow that up? Yes, I can. I like that I can blow that up. Ooh, I like this guy. All right, so now we need somebody who does ice, because you don't do ice, do you? No, no. Oh my God, you do. Sweet, that's cool. Who did I just get? I got Bengal, whoever the hell that is. Probably somebody who digs. All right. What, am I supposed to now freeze that? Oh, okay. Well, why don't you get to be Loki and freeze it? I don't know who else freezes shit. Here, where's Loki? No, I was trying to freeze something else, Jack. Come down. Oh, it's not ice anymore. I mean, yeah, okay, there we go. Huh. I don't know if I get anything out of it. Probably not. Here, can you do anything with it? Okay, that's just a waste of time. Okay, what's in here? We're gonna do something smaller to go in there. And let's see. Maybe this doesn't work yet. Okay. Can you not play? Okay. Okay, just trying to get in here, right? Can I go in here? Okay. What good does it do me? Right now, what can I do in here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, it looks like I need to get somebody. This gal. Okay, she's a little lower though. Okay, I missed something. Okay. Oh, way in here. Well, still somehow missing it. I don't know where she is. All right. I'm sure she'll become clear at some point. Oh, okay. Let's go be this shorty. No, yeah, let's go be this guy. I'm gonna fall from this guy. I don't know if I did what I was supposed to do, but it's in here. Okay, let's be somebody who can do something. That was me. You. Bucky Barnes. I like him because he has a gun and a shield. Okay. Oh, see, I think I couldn't figure out how to do that one last time. Oh, you can't do it. Well, maybe neither can he. Okay, so let's try to get said I could use hope, so let's see. I tried it before and I wouldn't let him do it. What? See? Oh. Yeah, it won't let me do anything. Okay, so it's definitely. All right, who else? Let's see if you can do something. Nope, can't. I don't know how to break that one. So.
Yeah.
Going. All right. Can you reach the fan to turn it on?
Yeah. Shoot you on your chain and everything.
Yeah.
Because I like the lights sometimes. I like the fans and things.
I'm steaming my yoni.
Oh.
Hot in there.
What smells good in here? Something cooking.
Herbal tea mixed with yoni. I want to take a shower after this. Can you remind me what time we start? 7:30?
Oh, the meeting.
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot.
Okay. Look.
I didn't say it the other day when I texted.
7:30. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make myself a cheeseburger. You want one?
Yeah, I'll have a cheeseburger.
Okay.
That sounds good.
And you're wanting some of your new gluten-free bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And some salad.
yeah, there's still some salad.
I took half of the pre-made salad with the other stuff, but we still have the spring green, the green mix, plenty of.
And we do also have a lot of lentils, but we could probably both eat on that for lunches and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
for several days.
for lunch today, so I'm ready to have food.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'd like that. Okay. So, how much time?
So the burgers right?
Yeah.
Probably just go down and start it now. Feel very grungy.
Okay. That means
so
that I can take
it'd
my
be like-
shower.
Huh?
That means I can take my shower soon.
Yeah, so it'd probably be like 10 minutes.
Okay, I better get in there then.
You gotta be on the pot there for a little while.
I've done 10 minutes. Like she said, I can do up to half an hour, but this one's optional as it is. So I've been here 10 minutes. Well, maybe a little longer now.
I can delay the burgers a little bit.
Yeah, but I would kind of rather we have a couple minutes of downtime before the meeting than
So
stay here a
burgers
lot
fast,
longer.
and then downtime before the meeting.
Yeah, and I'll go get in the shower. Right now. Can I kiss it?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh, I saw something on Secret Circle.
My email, my mailbox is so full that I can't actually get email right now.
Something to make this.
Nice little rush. Okay.
So the posting
Mm-hmm.
called "The Free Pharmacy Under Your Feet: Learn the Healing Power of Common Weeds"
Cool.
by a woman named Janelle in a rarity that she was friends of. I subletted my room. I was traveling and they were friends with Melissa. She was friends with Melissa and anyway.
Cool. Neat.
Sunday, May 19th, 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you to forward that to my work email?
Yeah.
Do you know that one yet?
Just a second. Give it to me.
Heather at Scrappy Entrepreneur .org. Today, right, what I did today, I didn't do my financial planning. Didn't do that yet.
Entre, E-N-T-R-E.
I gotta write it. Okay, entrepreneur.
E-R-E-N.
Yeah,
Take.
ENTREPRENEUR
That's Scrappy Entrepreneur.
.org.
.org.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I know full well that that's really hard to spell, but I actually think people should learn how to spell
No,
it.
because I studied French, it's not so bad.
Right. Yeah, I know I'm gonna run up against issues there though. Oh, what did I do? I did my yoni steam. Okay, is this the right day? Yeah. Yoni steam done. I took care of myself in that way. I played a little bit of video games. Let's see. What else was on? I did some tidying. I did get some outside time.
Yeah,
I had a nice chat with my friend Laura. Nice mom. She's been thinking about a lot of the same stuff that we've been thinking about, and then I got to talk to her about I got to talk to her about like, well, this is what we talked about at church yesterday. So yeah, basically not setting somebody straight if they're just really seem to be in another world and just seeking to understand, but also not giving them over too much energy. And
habit number 4, the 7 habits. Think first to understand and to be understood.
yeah, so it's on top of a lot of people's minds, including my friend, and also prioritizing. You know, she's like, I feel like a bad friend. What are you talking about? Just, well, it's important to me to stay in touch, and I've been doing other things and I haven't been in touch. And so I'm trying to try and shift what I'm spending time on towards the things that are really in line with what I say is important. And so, like, again, that's like one of the top topics that's been up for me lately on everybody I talk to. So it was fun. Yeah, it was a nice long talk.
I got to work pretty early and went in and immediately worked on the top. Got surfaced and sanded, and I got 2 coats of oil on it today.
Nice. Ooh, okay.
And chopped the legs down.
Mm-hmm.
So got right on that.
Neat. Okay.
I believe I printed out my passport application, so I brought that home. Sounds good. Yay.
This one, I clean that up.
Took a serving of lentils to Nick, who often eats
That's right.
like the lentil pouches that I eat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Appreciate it. I think the tabletop. I should leave it at work. Well, I want to make sure that the finish has plenty of days to
Yeah, don't
cure,
rush
so it
it.
doesn't have any kind of smell.
Yeah. Oh,
The
thank
smell
you.
is-
Yeah.
You know, probably be ready to bring home tomorrow under normal circumstances. Like getting smellers. Or I could.
I mean,
or I
I
could store it in the garage somewhere.
yeah. I mean, but
Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll give it maybe
Yeah, whatever
until like
suits
the end of the week, a little bit later
that's
on.
fine. I feel like I can function. I did a lot of kind of reorganizing and you know, I feel like I can function essentially in this space. This is still to be reorganized and out of this particular part of the area. So still in process, but I think we'll be fine without the top for a little bit. And I'd rather not get sick.
Yeah.
Sure. So, cool. Good. Thank you I hope it hasn't been annoying.
Whenever
Good.
it's no, it's fine.
Good.
Whenever I decide to bring it home, I'll just put it straight away into the garage.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it like might not smell to me, but
Exactly.
you
It's
can come
a
out
good-
and get a feel
Very
for
good
it.
point. Very good point. Exactly. Okay. Getting in the shower. Like we got a kiss, right? I got a
Yeah,
kiss.
you said it was energizing. Sounds
Oh,
like it
that's
wiped your memory.
Yeah. And there's any of the Havarti left. Probably should finish that.
Oh, pretty good.
Gonna put the electric kettle over here. Gonna put the electric kettle over here. See, I'm gonna go take my shower right now. That was all muted. Anyway, I was just saying that I celebrated all the things I did today, and I wrote them down so that I could check them off, so that I could visually see. And there's some stuff I didn't get to. Like I really thought I was gonna get to some financial planning and things. No, it didn't get here. Didn't happen yet. There's also a signal note I could send to the house. Still want to send a message to Tom about tomorrow. And I still have Iona's message to read. See if it's for today. And yeah, I did a lot of organization, lots of organization. That is definitely earth energy. Organization of notebooks, so it's getting clearer and clearer where I find things. And I'm making my system more clear so I can start to teach other people as I fine tune it. Okay, that's it. Now my next steps with this video is I'm gonna cut out the silent parts so that the total length is much shorter. And then we'll see when it eventually gets cut up into pieces, or yeah, because those are a whole bunch of other steps.